They sing, they dance, they act. But today's young Hollywood stars also know how to use their heads.
Taylor Swift, like the Jonas Brothers, like Miley, have become role models for a couple reasons. Their music is infectious, it's catchy, it's fun, but the kids look at them not just because they have great music, but because they're junior entrepreneurs. They're very smart business people.
All these stars come along and they realize they can also create a perfume or a clothing line, and they all do it now, and they're smart, else they wouldn't be where they are. They recognize that once I have this bit of fame, I'm empowered now to utilize that in other areas, and I think the kids learn from that.
Kids want to see people they idolize everywhere, and part of it is that kids think, you know, hey, they're my age and they're doing this.
Miley Cyrus didn't come into the world as a money-making machine. She was born Destiny Hope Cyrus on November 23, 1992, half a continent away from Hollywood on a remote 500-acre farm in Franklin, Tennessee. Still, she did know one celebrity, her dad, country singer Billy Ray Cyrus.
Billy Ray Cyrus, Achy Breaky Heart. Everyone knew it. I mean, he was one of the innovators of crossing country music into the top 40 world back in the day.
Cyrus nicknamed his daughter Smiley and later shortened it to Miley. As a child, Miley often traveled with her dad.
I was going on tour with him when I was like 3. I was always with my dad. That's just how it's been my whole life.
Billy Ray Cyrus really was just a one-hit wonder. Even though he released some records after Achy Breaky Heart, and they did sell pretty well, he never came close to the success of Achy Breaky Heart. Miley's dad's singing career was kind of slowing down a little bit, and he wanted to reinvent himself.
So he thought maybe acting would be something that he should start pursuing.
In 2001, Billy Ray won the lead role in Doc, a drama on the PAX network about a small-town Montana doctor who moves to New York City. The series was set to be taped in Toronto.
Billy Ray, Miley's dad, the whole family, everybody, they left Tennessee and they moved to Canada. And Miley gets the acting bug. She sees the set, she feels great, and she begs and pleads to be on the show. And finally, Miley gets to be on Doc.
9-year-old Miley made her television debut in the pilot episode and found her calling.
She had acting teachers, she got an agent, and you would think, she's got Billy Ray as her dad, that it's going to be a lock to get a bunch of roles. It was not like that at all for Miley. In fact, she was being turned down on most of her jobs.
Cyrus landed a small part in the Tim Burton film, Big Fish, but it was no big break.
Miley then got word that Disney was casting for a new show, Hannah Montana, so she sent them her audition tape, and they called her to come on in.
Well, obviously they were looking for somebody who had a tremendous voice and a sparkle personality that would really communicate on air. And I think Miley encompassed everything they were looking for, plus this added bit of authenticity that I think she just brings to the part that makes every girl want to be like her best friend.
Miley was ready to make her mark on the entertainment world, but the producers got cold feet.
She was only 12 years old at the time, and the role was for a 15 or 16-year-old, and they said, yeah, you know, we think you're okay, but you're not Hannah Montana. After she was rejected for the Hannah Montana, Disney then spent about a year trying to fill that role, and they could not find anybody.
They started bringing in kids from all over America because they knew they had this very special script and they wanted to find a very special performer who could sing and act.
Finally, producers gave up and gave Cyrus another shot.
They brought Miley back and a 16-year-old, and it was between those two to get the big role of Hannah Montana.
This time, the choice was easy.
They were really set on finding that one special young performer who had all the qualities they were looking for, and obviously they found it.
Coming up. In 2004, Miley accepted the lead role in Hannah Montana, but the network had plans for another member of the Cyrus family.
So once Miley was cast as Hannah Montana, Disney thought, hey, why don't we get Billy Ray to play her dad?
And then they heard Billy Ray read, and they were like, oh, he's great, put them together.
Billy Ray was kind of on the fence at first because he didn't want to steal his daughter's thunder. So Miley and Billy Ray talked, and obviously they went for it, and he became Hannah Montana's dad.
It's sort of art imitating life because they're playing Southerners who made it out in LA.
Just getting some ketchup for my veggie burger. I see like mayonnaise. Never tried that on a veggie burger.
The whole show is about this girl, and her name's Miley, and she has a double life, and her alter ego is Hannah Montana, supposedly, you know, the biggest pop star in the world.
Hannah Montana's double identity is pretty much kept secret. She puts on a blonde wig, and all of a sudden no one recognizes her as her.
You and Hannah Montana are never gonna be together.
Why not?
Because I'm Hannah Montana. Me, Miley.
The only people that know who she is are her best friends and her family.
Oh, it's fun because the thing is, it's not like me trying to be the character. It's just kind of who I am. So I think that makes it easier. If I didn't have my dad and I didn't have actual friends on set, I think it'd be a lot harder. But I think being able to have them, it just makes my life, you know, just so much like the character. It's not really like a job.
It's just been a blast working with Miley and seeing her evolve the character, becoming more and more like Miley. Every episode, Miley's always had a great sense of comedic timing, and now she's putting two and two together, and as an actress, she's becoming like a little Lucille Ball.
Hannah Montana debuted on March 24th, 2006, right after the world premiere of High School Musical. More than 5 million viewers tuned in.
Girls love this whole storyline because what they see is themselves. Hannah Montana is living their dream to be a rock star.
That summer, fans got to see Hannah Montana perform live as the opening act on the Cheetah Girls' The Party's Just Begun tour. Miley rocked out as her alter ego. 1 month later, the Hannah Montana soundtrack shot to the top of the charts. Teens loved the bubblegum music, but Cyrus was itching to strut her own stuff.
Miley really wanted to let her fans know who Miley Cyrus was, and on the second Hannah Montana soundtrack album, Disney let her be Miley Cyrus for half and Hannah Montana for the other half. And the great thing for Miley Cyrus was the fans loved it.
We chose a single off the album, See You Again, and we put it on the air. And next thing you know, it was massive. And then I would come on the air and say, that was Miley Cyrus, aka Hannah Montana. And we would instantly see, 100 text messages come in. Are you serious? Really? That's Hannah Montana?
I'm like really just stoked about branching out, being more like with this album. I gotta have more input, which made me feel more like an artist.
The Hannah Montana stuff is obviously geared more to the preteens and the tweens. She's singing about pajama parties and lunch and, hanging out with the girls. But when the Miley Cyrus music, you're hearing more emotional lyrics. She's actually, co-writing some songs and writing some songs, and she dives into her own personal stuff, which obviously in Hannah Montana, you're not hearing that.
Disney chiefs decided to capitalize on Cyrus's success by sending her back on the road. This time as Hannah Montana and as Miley. High School Musical director Kenny Ortega signed on to produce the event.
I went to Miley's parents' home, and Billy Ray was there and her wonderful mom. And I remembered it was like when I first met Cher. The one thing that I always admired about Cher was her complete honesty and her enthusiasm and excitement. And Miley couldn't be more excited. And after I shared a few ideas at the table, she jumped up onto a chair and went, "Mama, I want to rock and roll with this guy."
Miley spent the entire summer of 2007 preparing for her big debut.
She plays a full set of 10 songs or something like that of Hannah, changes, comes out as Miley, and plays another 10 to 12 songs. I mean, it's unbelievable how much work it was in that show.
There were a lot of really creative people that were adding ideas to the show, but Miley was definitely one of them. And if she didn't like something, whether it be, a pair of jeans or the look of the light, she'd say, "You know what? I was thinking that this should be a little moodier or a little darker."
You taught him that?
No.
I hate you!